Welcome to Focus Today, and actually focus on plants today. And we're going to focus on bugs and trees and vegetables and all kinds of stuff. And we invite you to be a part of the broadcast. In fact, you call in, your name's going in a hat to win a plant that is in recovery from being digiplexus. What is this, Tim?
Digiplexus.
Digiplexus.
Yes.
Okay. And you too can get this. Is it contagious?
Oh, it must be, because we got them in and everybody seems to be walking out with it.
Really? Okay, well, there you go. Great answer. Anyway, welcome to join us today. And if you have any questions for Tim, your name goes in the hat and somebody's going to win this beautiful plant. This is so unusual and so beautiful. Here's the number, 541-776-5368. That's the local number in and around the Medford area. You folks watching outside the immediate area, you're welcome to join us. 541 toll free. There we go. 800-373-5368. Okay, 800-373-5368, and the local number 541-776-5368. This is a very unusual plant. It's an incredible color.
Yes.
And what is it?
Well, Digiplexus is a hybrid form of foxglove. So it is, they took the foxglove that we know, digitalis, and they crossed it with an African form, and this is what they got. And so it's a pretty outstanding type of plant. This one is called Illumination Flame, and it has that bright, I don't know, I guess I would call it a violet pink bloom with an apricot center. So it's just an outstanding plant. It'll bloom up till frost, then it'll freeze to the ground. You'll want to mulch it heavily, or if you've got it in a container, protect it, and then it'll come back next year.
This is so unusual, and this one's what, about almost 3 feet tall?
Yeah, they get about 3 feet tall. So yeah, this guy's reaching its maximum height here pretty soon. The blooms start at the base and work their way up. So so as it continues to bloom, it continues to get a little taller. And as you can see, of course, lots and lots of flower stalks that come out of it. So
now, will it'll continue to bloom through the summer?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's see here. One other question before we take calls. Sun, shade, what?
We're suggesting that it goes in a spot where it gets a little afternoon shade. They do say that they'll take full sun, but they don't live in the Rogue Valley.
Yeah, those they out there. I always wanted to start a company and call it They Inc.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we know everything, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, listen, Digiplexus, and if you wanted to get your name in the hat, this is a very beautiful plant, very unusual, and it twists and turns, and I kind of like it. It's really neat. All right, anyway.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be deer resistant as well.
Deer resistant.
Yes.
Well, there you go. That's good for the Rogue Valley. All right, here's the number, 541-776-5368, or toll free, 800-373-5368. Tim's going to be here for the full show taking your questions, and your name will go in the hat, and somebody's going to win this beautiful Digiplexus plant coming up. All right, let's start with Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. What's going on?
I am having problems with earwigs in my planter boxes.
Well, you and 98% of the rest of the Rogue Valley. The other 2% don't have planter boxes. Yes, earwigs are a real problem, and definitely this year is no exception, as those guys are all over the place. In fact, I think it was a couple of mornings ago, I was awakened by a thud on my hand, and I looked down and I had an earwig that must have fallen off of the ceiling and landed on my hand while I was sleeping. And needless to say, there was no more sleeping after that. Anyways, to get rid of earwigs, there are a few things out there. There are some baits out there like Sluggo Plus. There's Espoma has one, but they all use the same kind of a thing. It's a kind of a corn-based material with a product called spinosad in it, and it attracts them. They eat it. The spinosad kills them, and it works very good. It's pet safe. so you can use it even if you do have pets. And then there are some sprays that work pretty good as well. You're going to want to, if you're going to spray, you're going to want to go out at night while they're feeding, and you'll get your best control that way. Now, there are also lots and lots of other home remedies out there, and I'm sure that we'll probably get a few calls of people telling us how they take care of the earwigs. But anyways, you know, the sprays would be like Fertilome's broad spectrum insecticide, very safe product to use, and it controls a wide range of different types of insects. So I would say the bait or the spray would be good choices for you.
Is it safe on basil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if it's basil, my suggestion, use the baits rather than the sprays, because there is a period of time when you want to wait after spraying before you harvest. So you're better off to use the baits around there. The only problem I find with the baits is that they don't always seem to be as attracted to the baits. Your plants seem to be more attractive than the baits do. So you know, up the ante a little bit by taking a little you know, a little bit of sugar water and just spritzing them with a little sugar water, and that can help.
Okay.
Not your plants, the bait.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
welcome.
Kathleen. Okay, 776-5368. Let's go to Carol. Hi, Carol. What's going on with your snapdragons?
Well, the buds are full of black stuff, and I need to know, do I cut those stems off, or what do I do?
Yeah, just cut those off. New stems should appear and come up without that problem. If the new ones come up with that same problem, then you'll need a fungicide. But I don't think it's happening systemically. I think it should be just happening in those flowers themselves. So, are you overhead watering?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's probably where your problem is. And if you can get by without getting water on them, you'll have less trouble with that.
Oh, okay. So just water at the base of them?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Carol. All right, 776-5368 or 800-373-5368. Hi, Peggy, what's going on with your strawberries?
I really don't know. It's our first year growing strawberries, and well, we put them in last fall, but now they're really thick. You know, they're growing together and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I did find out that I'm supposed to cut the runners,
Right.
you know, and just disengage them because it takes away from the other plants. But I don't know what to do with. They're so thick. Do I yank out some of the plants this fall, or after they're through producing, and what do I do with them when they're so thick like that?
Well, as long as you have just single plants and you're cutting all the runners off, you're doing fine. It doesn't matter how thick and full they are. That's just a sign of good, healthy plants. You can cut back on the amount of nitrogen you're putting down on them. Use something that's higher in the middle number and the last number, like a like a 5-10-10 or something similar to that, where you're putting less nitrogen, more phosphorus and potassium, and you'll get maybe a little bit less green growth out of it. But other than that, no, I think you'll be fine just leaving them the way they are.
So I cut the runners clear off, or I just cut them apart?
Take all the runners completely out. Yeah.
Completely out. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know. Thanks,
Okay.
Ken.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, our phone number is 776-5368 or toll-free 800-373-5368. Tim's going to be with us the whole hour, and we're talking about what's going on in your garden or any tips you may have. And your name will go on the hat. Somebody's going to win this very unusual plant called the Digiplexus or Digiplexus?
Digiplexus.
Digiplexus.
Yes.
For all you Digiplexus fans, here it is. And it's very unusual. And this has got kind of a lavender, and you're calling it what?
Kind of an apricot
center
yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
And it'll bloom all summer. This thing is just, when this thing's in full bloom, it'll be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're great in containers, too.
Are they?
Yeah, they do really good.
All right, so check it out. All right, let me take one more call before we take a break. And if you want to join us, 541-776-5368. All right, hey, Jeff, how are you and your gophers getting along?
Oh, they're wonderful. They're growing like crazy. They're turning my lawn into a pincushion.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they're gophers or voles, but We had voles last year quite a bit, but this year the holes are bigger.
Are you seeing open holes still?
Yes.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be gophers. They don't leave their holes open. They close them in the mornings. So yeah, it's definitely not gophers then. Are you seeing the trails as the soil humped up in a line in a trail?
No, they seem to be pretty deep, so there's no trail that way.
Yeah, so again, not moles either. So we don't have gophers, we don't have moles. It's probably still voles. They're just bigger now.
Okay.
Or something like that. Have you tried the castor bean oil, the Molgo?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
That might not be a bad idea for the ground burrowing type rodents. It does make them sick, and so they don't like it, and they move out and go to your neighbor's yard. But if you get some of that down, try that and see if that works out for you. Other than that, the only thing I could think of would be one of the sonic devices, like the mole chasers. They seem to work pretty good for those.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. All right. So phone number is 776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Give us a call. After we have your question, your name goes in the hat. Somebody's going to win this Digiplexus, and it's a beauty. And we'll be doing that right at the end. So give us a call. We'll be right back with Tim Elbert.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery and taking all your questions about what's going on in your yard and things you may be looking to work on this weekend. And as you call in, your name's going in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful Digiplexus. And I've never seen one of these, never heard one of these, but it is a beautiful plant. It's about 3 feet tall, at least this one here in the studio is. Got a lavender color on the outside, kind of an apricot color on the inside, and you're saying it'll bloom all summer.
Yes.
And you may want to shade it from the afternoon sun, but it should just do quite well. And then when it freezes, cut her down, huh?
Yep. Cut it down, mulch it, and and it'll do fine.
All right. Our phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free at 800-373-5368. All right, Mark, what's going on, man?
Well, it seems like I have these little, what looks like white bugs popping up when I walk across the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard you mention whitefly before, but I don't remember what you said to do about it. I'm curious, what are they doing there? What's in it for them?
Okay. Generally, what we're seeing on the lawns are what we call leaf hoppers. And they bounce around all over the lawn when you walk across it. They're tiny little things. And what they're doing is they're feeding on the top of the grass. So they'll feed from the tips down. So we call them nature's little lawnmowers. But unfortunately, they can't eat fast enough for your lawn, so they don't really keep the lawn mowed down very well. They're more of a nuisance than anything else because they're feeding on the top of the grass, which we're cutting off with a lawnmower anyways. It's not a real big factor, so there's not a lot of work that's gone into finding leafhopper killers or anything like that. General purpose insecticides would take care of them. But because there are probably billions of them in your lawn, and you would go through and spray, and 2 days later there'd be just as many back again. So probably not really something you need to control, or you would have much success controlling, but nothing that's harming your lawn anyways.
So if it was whitefly, what would the whiteflies be doing?
Well, the whiteflies are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be more of a piercing, sucking type of an insect. But again, first of all, they wouldn't really be in your lawn. They're not going to be attracted to your lawn. But if they were, again, they're not going to be a major pest in the lawn because you would be mowing what they're eating anyways. That would be like aphids in the lawn. You know, it wouldn't. We don't see that problem.
Is this a seasonal thing? Will they go away?
Yeah, they're going to be there all summer long, and they'll go dormant in the winter and be back again next year. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for answering that question.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you may want to name them.
Yeah. Hey, look, Bob the Bug is back.
Bob the Bug is back. Hi, Diane. What's happening with your roses?
Well, it's overcome with mold, and so I wanted to know if I could cut it back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Cut it back, spray it, or use a systemic fungicide on it, and get it to come back again. Be sure that you feed it and cut back a little bit on the watering after you cut it back, because it won't be using as much water.
Okay, and when I buy flowers from like Fred Meyer and stuff like that, I'm hearing that they use something in the flowers that kills the bees. Is that true?
Well, I don't know the growers that they buy their stuff from, so I couldn't tell you exactly. But I think that there's a lot of worry right now about growth regulators on plants. And growth regulators are natural growth hormones that are sprayed on plants to keep them from growing too quickly, so that they stay in the containers longer, gives them a longer shelf life, etc. Now, most of the big growers will use growth regulators because they're growing tens of thousands of plants at a time. You know, if you are looking to stay away from something like that, buying from the smaller growers, the more local growers is definitely better. You know, for us, you know, we choose most of our stuff is grown by smaller growers here in Oregon. A few things out of California, but mostly right here in Oregon, and not, you know, growth regulators are not a big factor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, 776-5368 is the number if you want to join us. And Tim Albert's in the house taking your calls. Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway. You get off on Highway 62 at Vilas Road, go up about half mile, so you can't miss the beautiful nursery off to the right there with all the beautiful hanging baskets and all the color and everything else that's going on there. Hi, Cindy. You've been very patient. What's up?
Well, good morning. Hey, my hydrangeas have gone crazy, and they're taking over a spot in the front, and I'm wondering if it's safe to trim those back is my first question. And my second question, is it too late to trim back or prune my lilac tree?
Oh, in both cases, you would be fine pruning those now without any trouble whatsoever. You expect that your lilacs are going to come back and grow and produce those flower buds starting in late August. So you want to get it done soon so that they'll have enough growth that they can produce flower buds on. Your hydrangeas, regardless of the varieties, you can do any pruning on hydrangeas now without any trouble.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Right,
Thank you.
Wonderful day.
Bye-bye. All right, 776-5368 or toll-free 800-373-5368. Hey, Calvin, when are you going to bring us some blueberry muffins?
Well, I ain't got them made yet.
Well, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to figure out the best time to plant blueberries and also raspberries and how much sunlight they need.
Okay. Well, the best timing for planting those is yesterday. Or maybe, a few years ago, so that they'd be all producing right now. But other than that, typically the time of year for planting those is going to be while they are dormant, from usually February through March and even into April. You'll get your best selection during that time, and they will be dormant, so easy to plant. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't plant them now. You can. But they should be producing fruit right now, and so if you're planting smaller plants right now, don't expect them to produce a whole lot this year, and they'll do some more next year. Now, raspberries like lots of sun, so give them full sun all day long. They'll love it. The blueberries, we recommend a little afternoon shade for those. They tend to burn a bit in the hot summer sun here in the valley. Okay.
All I needed to know.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. 776-5368 or 800-373-5368. And your name's going to somebody's going to get one of this beautiful Digiplexus plant, which is about 3 feet tall. And always that color or a variety of color?
You know, this is the only one that I have seen available right now. As far as I know, there is another variety available too, but I have not seen it. And I think it's a bit more raspberry colored.
A lavender bloom with kind of an apricot center. It's very unusual and very beautiful, so check it out. All right, let's go to the phones. And hi, Jan.
Hi.
What's up?
Yes, I'm organic only, and we have a problem with leaf miner on spinach, chard, and beet leaves.
Okay.
And I know you need to pick the leaves off and don't put them in the compost, but in the trash so it doesn't spread. But what are these little guys? You can't see them. They just, well, we've used neem oil. That seems to help, but is there anything we can do to prevent it or any other suggestions?
Yeah, the spinosad is all natural, all organic, and that works really well. It is well, we carry it under the Fertilome brand, and they call it borer bagworm leaf miner tent caterpillar spray. So it says leaf miner right there in the name, so it does control leaf miners. Now, leaf miners are like a little caterpillar, and what they do is they get inside the eggs, hatch, they burrow in between the two layers of cells that are on the protective layers, the top and the bottom of the leaf, and they feed inside. So when you're spraying, your sprays generally don't connect and kill the insect. And so trying to get them while they're still in that egg stage, that's going to be the most important thing. So getting that spinosad on, keeping it on a regular basis, you know, every 5 to 7 days, for a while, and eventually you'll get it under control.
Wow. Okay, so there's nothing. That's about it then, huh?
That's about it, and it does work really good. So so it's not a problem. It washes off very quickly and easily, so you can harvest within 1 day of spraying, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jan. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's squeeze in Deborah before we take a break. Hi, Deborah. You want to trim something?
I do. Since you just said it was not too late to trim the lilacs, I'm wondering, we have an overgrown hedge, and we were thinking we had to wait till fall, but is it not too late then to trim the hedge?
Oh no, summer pruning is fine. You know, I do a lot of it in my yard because I can't get to it in spring; it's too busy. But yes, this is a great time to go through and prune your hedge back. It'll give it a chance to recover over the summer, so it's looking good again before winter hits. So not a bad idea at all.
Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
good.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I have to apologize to her husband now.
Oh, yeah, well, honey.
Yeah, he was wanting to wait till fall.
Well, and then push it off into the spring.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Tim's around for the rest of the hour, and we welcome your calls and comments. The phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Somebody's going to win this beautiful Digiplexus, and I've never seen one of these, and looked kind of like a bottle brush, huh? Sort of?
That was more like a foxglove.
That's what I said. It looked like a foxglove, whatever that is. Anyway, it's very unusual, and it's just full of blooms, and really an unusual plant, kind of a conversation piece. All right, we'll take your phone calls right after this break.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back. Tim Elbert's with us today. It's always great to have him around. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery. If you've never been out there, you're really missing it. It's just a great place, and full of flowers and all kinds of things and trees, and you got a lot of color out there, including this, huh?
Yep, yeah, there's a ton of stuff. We just got a big shipment of color in. including some beautiful salvias and some more lavenders and you name it, all kinds of things. Yeah.
All right, well, check it out. They're out there on Crater Lake Highway. You go out Highway 62. You get off on Vilas Road, go up about, half mile. You can't miss it. It's off to the right there. Anyway, we're taking your phone calls today, and the phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll-free 800-373-5368. When you call in, your name's going in the hat, and somebody's going to win this beautiful Digiplexus, which is an offshoot of a Digitalis.
Yes, foxglove.
Which is better known as foxglove.
Yes.
I'm learning something. I had no idea that that was the case. All right. Is it Ellen? Or Eileen? Eileen, I'm sorry. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. What's up?
I'm calling to say I inherited two planters, and they're about 1.5 feet tall, and they have pockets on the side. And this lady that had them, she had one with hen and chickens in the pockets, but somebody told me those are strawberry planters.
Well, no, they're not. They're hen and chick planters. Originally,
what would be the ideal thing to put in those? I have them on my deck, which is kind of high, and then I put one on each side, but I want to put something that's kind of showy and maybe will bloom, and what would it be?
Well, you know, they were originally made for growing strawberries, and that's why we call them strawberry jars. But people have found that there's a lot of different things you can plant in them, including succulents, and there are some great succulents that bloom. So, so that's not a bad option for you. Other people will plant herbs in them and have herbs there for using when they're barbecuing or trimming and bringing into the kitchen, that kind of a thing. But anything that is small, trailing, could go in there and you'd be just fine. You could plant it with petunias and it would just cover the whole plant, the whole planter, and be just fine. So it's whatever you want that you can cram in those little pockets.
Well, and it takes about 2 big bags to fill one.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're big. So you just get regular planter mix. So do you put rock in the bottom like you do a regular planter?
Well, you don't have to. But see, I never put rock in the bottom of any of my planters. So I just put good potting soil in, and you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that petunia sounds nice. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. 776-5368, the local number, toll-free 800-373-5368. Let's go to Mick in Coos Bay. Hey, Mick, how's the weather over there today?
Oh, it's rainy and overcast.
Oh, not for long. You'll have a good weekend.
I hope so.
What's up?
Question about blueberries, rhododendrons. When is it time to take cuttings to root? What's the best time of year?
Well, you want the new growth to harden off somewhat. So if you're taking cuttings on those, you are getting probably right into that area, usually right in the first part of July. So we're just about good timing for that now. You want to be able to take that new growth and kind of bend it. Should have some flexibility, but still feel stiff enough that if you bent it too far, it would break. So if it's real rubbery, it's too soft. If it's real stiff and would break if you bent it, then it's too hard. And so we call it a semi-hardwood cutting, believe it or not.
Awesome.
So
thank you.
All righty. So yeah, timing is just about right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hey,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Mick. Thanks for listening over there. All right. He's listening on KDCB.
All right.
Dove Coos Bay.
All right.
All right. Well, listen, we'd love to hear from you. 776-5368. The phone lines are open, or 800-373-5368. And your name's going to have. Well, hey, we had some nice rain yesterday and maybe a little bit left over today. And then quickly it's going to go to hot weather.
Yes.
And so vegetables, what should we be doing in the vegetable garden?
Well, whenever we have this wet weather and then warming up this fast, we really have to take a close eye and watch the fungus and make sure that we're not getting any mildew issues. In your vegetable garden right now, you want to make sure that you are not overhead watering if you can get away with that. Okay. Because right now that's going to be a big spreader of fungal problems.
Yeah.
So keep a close eye out. Watch for that. As soon as you see signs of any kind of fungus, if it doesn't look right to you, bring us a sample in a sealed plastic baggie so we can identify what that is and help you get that taken care of. The other thing is also, insects are going crazy. It's going to be a crazy insect year.
Yeah.
So we're seeing signs of the spotted cucumber beetles out there. We're using the Fertilum broad spectrum for that, and works very, very good. And in most of your plant material, you can harvest within 3 to 7 days of spraying with that. It's not an organic spray, but it's a very, very safe spray to use. So
there you go. 776-5368 or 800-373-5368. Hi, ma'am. What's going on with your grapevines?
Hi, I just planted a couple of grapevines last year, and I am really surprised that they have grapes on them. But I was wondering, other than pruning back in the fall, what kind of maintenance do they require?
Well, right now, what you're going to want to do is give them good deep waterings and allow them to dry between your waterings. That will get the root systems down deep and make them resistant to all the summer heat and drought. That's going to be very, very important for you. So when I did my grapes the first year, it was every other day on a drip system for an hour, sometimes 2 hours if it was really hot, or if I forgot and left it on. but generally every other day or every third day even. Right now, my grapevines have not had supplemental watering yet this year, and they're doing fine. Well, I shouldn't say that. The cow got out the other day and ate everything down. They're coming back now, but so I won't have any grapes on my grapevines. But anyways, they have been in, I think, 2 years now. So.
Well, I thought the Bible said that it was the little foxes that spoiled the vine, not the cows.
Yeah, this is a big one.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Overall, though, grapes can be kind of starved of water, huh?
You can. Now, of course, when you go to harvest, then you want to make sure
Sugar
that
them up.
that you give them lots and lots of water to fill that up so you have nice big grapes.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right, let's go to Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Good morning. So I have a question about my yellow zucchini squash. They're not maturing into nice big squash. They're little tiny things about 2 inches, but they look fully mature. And if you break one open, because I ate one and it was just all hollow inside. And so, do you have any idea what the problem is?
Yes. Oh, you want to know? Generally, sorry. When that happens, it's being caused by lack of good pollination. And the reason why it's hollow inside is because there's no seed being developed in there. And that's why they don't fully develop. They get up to, a couple inches long, and then the plant says, hey, why am I putting all this energy into this thing? And that's because it just kind of stops at that point. So go out there with a Q-tip and find those little male flowers with the pollen, and then hit that with the Q-tip, and then find little female flowers and hit them up. Make buzzing noises while you do it so your plants feel, a little more comfortable.
I'll do it.
Okay, you should have better success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We won't tell anybody you're humming and buzzing in your garden, okay?
All right.
All right, see you later.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Tim, we'll get you some counseling later. Okay, Hi, Dave. What's going on with your strawberries, Dave?
Well, my problem is that there's not a whole lot of strawberries right now, and so it's probably a cycle, but with the first batch of strawberries that came on, we had tons of them. And then now we've got a few flowers on there showing where there's going to be some more. But it's been putting out runners, too. Should I cut the runners off? Is there anything I can do or do I just need to wait for the strawberries to show back up again?
Well, how old are your plants?
We got them from you a couple of years ago, probably.
Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and trim off those runners, and it will still produce more berries, but generally with strawberries, June is the big month for production, and then after that you get slow production until fall when you'll get another kind of a bump in production. That's on the ever-bearing varieties. There are some that are only June-bearing and will produce one time and be done. If you bought them from us couple of years ago, then you got everbearing, because I don't sell any more June bearing. I just don't get enough calls for them. Keep the runners pruned off, and they'll continue to produce nice sized berries for you. Next year, you want to let some of those runners grow and produce new plants for you. Okay. And then eventually you'll take out those plants that you have now and leave those new ones to be the bearing plants for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll squeeze in one more before we take a break. Hi, Jack, what's going on?
Yes, question. I've got an area in my backyard that I want to put a potting plant, and I want a pot that's probably between 20 to 40 gallons in size.
Okay.
What all-weather type of vessel or pot should I be looking for to purchase?
Oh, definitely look for something that is a clay, one of the high-fired clays. So usually the Asian pottery works really good for that. By the way, I think Four Seasons Nursery has a great selection right now.
Okay.
Kind of some nice old world style pots they're nice big ones. Anyways, yeah, those work great. They hold up well in the weather, and they're fairly inexpensive.
Okay, now are they a glazed, or are they just a clay?
Well, you want one that has somewhat of a glaze on it, whether it's a shiny glaze or we have some that are, we call them old world style. They have a kind of a flat glaze to them, so it doesn't look like a glaze, but they are. They're kind of a brown color. They're very nice pots. But anyways, there's those, or something with a nice shiny glaze on it. You don't want like an Italian clay pot or a Mexican clay pot. Those ones are going to break down very quickly.
And they freeze.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And an all-weather plant to put in it that would hold up through the seasons. Is there such a thing that you'd recommend to put in this outdoor vessel to?
There's a lot of different things. My suggestion is once you kind of get you know where you're going to plant, where you're going to place it, take a picture of that area, bring it down to us. We'll help you pick out a pot that will fit for that, and then get you into some items that would look good just by looking at your photo, that would look good in the area where you're going to be placing it.
Okay, excellent suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
All righty.
All right, 776-5368 or toll-free 800-373-5368. And your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody's going to win this Digiplexus beautiful plant here. Coming up in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Well, we're into our final segment now with Tim Elbert, and not forever, just for this show. Anyway, he heads up Four Seasons Nursery, and if you've never been out there, you're really missing. It's a great place, and they got a super selection, super service, and great deals. And it's out there on Highway 62. You get off on Vilas Road and go up about a half mile. You can't miss it. You'll see all the hanging pots and everything and all the beautiful flowers. So we're taking your questions today, and your name is going to have somebody's going to win this Digiplexus. It's an unusual plant. This one here in the studio is about 3 feet tall, maybe a little less, and it's got a kind of a lavender color bloom to it with kind of an apricot center. So it's very unusual, but you say that this will bloom on out, then you cut those off and it does it again?
Yep, just keeps going.
Right up till freezing time, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to the phone, take your calls. Hi, Mildred, what's up? Mildred?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I know it was me. I'm having trouble with my grapevines. It's loaded with grapes, absolutely loaded. And when I was out looking, I found that there were some leaves that have like these white spots on the back, which makes the leaf kind of raise up into a bump.
Right.
And I cut off all that I could, and I'm wondering if there's anything else I should do to it.
Well, that what you're seeing there is called blister rust, and it is a disease that they get. Affects mainly the foliage, but can affect the fruit. So you're doing good by getting rid of it as much as you can. If it gets to be too bad, you may have to do a fungicidal spray. Captan works pretty good. That's a powder you mix with water and spray on there. That can work pretty good. You can try some neem oil if you want to stay more organic, and that will sometimes stop the spread of it. But the neem oil you'll have to apply fairly often to get good control.
Well, I don't mind doing that. I'd rather use the organic.
Sure.
I have one other problem. If that takes care of the grape, I have a plum tree. And I sprayed it in the winter with copper spray, like they say, you know, on a regiment. And now it's every new leaf that comes out is like a leaf curl, almost like a peach leaf curl. And I don't know what else to do to it.
Well, that sounds like aphids, actually. When aphids attack plums, the plums curl their leaves around the aphids to keep them from spreading and getting worse. Grab some of those leaves and open them up and see if you see aphids inside. If you do, treat the aphids, and you should be in pretty good shape.
Well, it seems almost like the leaves are tough, like it's not aphids. And I don't think it's aphids. But because I put ladybugs under the tree, and they didn't stick around.
Yeah, well, check that out and see. I would almost guarantee that's what it is. If that's not it, then there's a disease going on of some sort, and we'll need to take a look at that a sample. So bring me a sample in a sealed plastic baggie, and if you don't see the aphids, but. My guess is this aphids. The leaves will get tough and everything. They'll be kind of funky, but that's just the way the plums are. So
was there anything I can do to it that would stop that? You know, am I not spraying at the right time or something?
Well, the aphids will get on there if their aphids are around, whether you've sprayed or not. So the copper would only protect it from disease. As far as the aphids go, you just have to watch for it. It happens every year on the plums when that new growth comes on. It's very attractive to the aphids. At the nursery, you know, as soon as those come out, we get the ladybugs out, and we get them out there, and they get it under control for us. But you know, you just have to watch it and see.
Well.
Okay. Thanks, Mildred.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's go to, let's see here. Hi, Annie.
Oh, hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I have these little black specks all over my tomato plants, and when I touched them, they kind of came off like almost like ash in my hands. And then there appeared to be what looked like little winged guys there, too. So I don't know if it's eggs and black aphids or what.
Interesting. Usually if it's eggs, they don't put the eggs, insects usually don't put eggs on top of the leaf. They want to hide them, so they go under the leaves. And they're usually stuck to the leaf pretty good, and you have to kind of scrape them to get them off. So it doesn't sound like that's what's going on.
It's on the stems and everything. It's the whole entire plant covered, black specks.
Yeah, and it sounds like it could be a type of scale, but that's a tough one to know without actually seeing. So again, I'm going to say a sample in a sealed plastic baggie, bring it into me, let me take a look at it, and so we can determine what is actually going on there.
Okay. Just real quick. I asked my husband today for a gardenia for my birthday. Is that a good choice for this area?
You know, I have in I just gotten word about 3 weeks. I've got some beautiful hardy gardenias coming in.
Awesome.
So they told me 3 weeks yesterday.
Oh, they're coming in 3 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I have some right now in like 1 gallon, but it's your birthday. You want a 5-gallon one.
And do I have to have kind of a little bit of shade for them?
You know, I had them in full sun. They tended to burn a little bit. So I would say, yeah, a little afternoon shade is probably best for them. Well-drained soil and acid fertilizer on them, and they do really well. The variety I've got coming in 5-gallon, I believe, is called Climbs Hardy, and they are in full bloom right now. So I'm hoping they're still in full bloom when the truck shows up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
All righty,
Andy.
you're welcome.
Bye-bye. And they're very fragrant, right?
Oh, yes, very fragrant.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Hi, Diane.
Hi, thank you for your great program. I have 2 quick questions. How soon can we divide our irises?
Let's see. You could probably do it now, but you're better off to wait till like September.
September, okay. Yeah. And we have a table grape that this is its 2nd year and is not doing anything. Any ideas of what we can do?
It's producing leaves and vines, but no fruit?
That's right.
Okay.
Plug it in.
Right. Prune it back this fall. Prune back almost all of the new growth. And hopefully that will take care of it, and it should produce something for you next year.
Too much water?
Not usually. Not usually from too much water. It may be the type of fertilizer you're using. If you're using anything high nitrogen, you cut back on that and see if that helps. But it's just growing a lot, so you want to cut back that growth.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And bless you both.
Thank you. All right. Well, listen, we're going to give away this plant here coming up. It's called a Digiplexus, and Tim has them at the nursery. And they're gorgeous, and they're very unusual. And you'll say probably you can keep them in a pot, huh?
Yeah, they do great in a container.
Okay.
You know, you could imagine this with maybe a nice big golden grass and maybe some petunias or something down in there with it. It would look real pretty together. You can plant it in a border along a fence line or something like that to accent. Underneath a tree, a shade tree or something. Very, very pretty plant. Lots of uses.
All right, let me see if I can squeeze in one more. Hi, Carol, quickly, what's going on with your lilies?
Well, my daylilies are just getting huge, and I just wondered, when do you divide them, and what would be a good time of the year?
You want to wait until they're fully dormant before you divide them. So this fall, once they've frozen down and you're ready to go clean up all of those leaves, before you yank all those leaves out, dig them and divide them and replant, and you should be in good shape then.
And how much around the plant should I give, when I dig them out?
Well, you want to just dig to where the foliage ends. And they're pretty simple because the roots don't go very far, so pretty easy to dig up.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Well, listen, we're just about out of time, and I just want to say, if you've never been to the Four Seasons Nursery, let me encourage you to check it out. It's out on Highway 62. And get off on Vilas Road and skip over to the frontage road and go up about a half mile. You can't miss it there. It's beautiful. And you're open. What are you now?
We're 9 to 5 every day.
9 to 5 every day.
Yep.
And so somebody's going to win this Digiplexus plant, and who is it?
It is Annie.
Annie. Congratulations, Annie. And we'll make arrangements for you to get out to the nursery and pick one of these up and enjoy it all summer long. Well, Tim, any lawn tips quickly as we go into the weekend?
Keep that lawn nice and tall. And so you don't have to water as much. We're getting into some dry weather. So
yeah, some hot weather coming
hot,
up.
dry weather. Yes, let that lawn get nice and tall.
All right, there you go. And check him out if you have any other questions out there at Four Seasons Nursery. All right, see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, theDove.us.